Ruby Dee and her husband Ossie Davis were the most prolific civil rights couple in the country, standing beside the likes of Malcolm X in the fight for equality. But she also had the most unconventional marriage in Hollywood. Let's explore the barrier-breaking achievements of this Hollywood icon and find out what life she hid behind the veil of her success. Ruby Dee, born Ruby Ann Wallace on October 27, 1922, in Cleveland, Ohio, was born into a working-class African-American family. Her father, Marshall Edward Nathaniel Wallace, was a porter and waiter on the Pennsylvania Railroad, and her mother, Emma Amelia Benson, was a school teacher. How did her upbringing influence her incredible journey? Stay tuned. The family moved to Harlem, New York, when Dee was young, a neighborhood that would play a crucial role in shaping her artistic and political personality. Ruby went to Hunter College High School and later graduated from Hunter College with a degree in Romance languages in 1945. Her early education in Harlem, surrounded by the vibrant culture of the Harlem Renaissance, exposed her to African American culture and literature. When she was just 9 years old, she wrote her first poem, The Graveyard, after being encouraged by her mother to pursue her passion for arts. Ruby Dee's acting career began in the 1940s with the American Negro Theater, alongside other emerging black actors, including Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte. Her breakthrough came in 1946 when she landed a leading role in the Broadway play Anna Lucasta. Dee's film debut came in 1950 with The Jackie Robinson Story, in which she played Rachel Robinson, the wife of the legendary baseball player. This film was significant not only for its portrayal of a black American hero, but also for Dee's ability to break into an industry that offered limited opportunities for African American actresses. In later interviews, she admitted that this was a point of contention with her own perception of herself. In an interview with NPR shortly before she passed, she said, "My dream was I was going to be an actor. Racism occurred to me. It dawned on me that I would not be an actor. It occurred to me that I was not white. It occurred to me that being what they call colored, being a Negro, was some kind of a disadvantage. What struggles did she face? And how did she overcome the keep watching to find out?" In 1959, Dee starred in the original Broadway production of Lorraine Hansberry's A Raisin in the Sun, a play that explored the struggles of a black family in Chicago. Dee's portrayal of Ruth Younger was widely praised, and she reprised her role in the 1961 film adaptation. A Raisin in the Sun was a seminal work that highlighted the systemic racism and economic challenges faced by African Americans, and Dee's performance helped to bring these issues to a broader audience. Click the subscribe button and notification bell to stay on beat with Black Hollywood. Trust me, you don't know these stars as well as you think you do. Stick around and find out more. Ruby Dee's commitment to social justice was as profound as her dedication to the arts. Alongside her husband, Ossie Davis, Dee became deeply involved in the civil rights movement. They were close friends and collaborators with key figures such as Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and Medgar Evers. Their activism took many forms, from participating in marches and protests to using their celebrity status to raise awareness and funds for the movement. What risks did Ruby and Ossie take for justice? You might be surprised. One of the most notable examples of Dee's activism was her participation in the 1963 March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, where Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech. Dee and Davis served as MCs for the event, helping to organize the hundreds of thousands of attendees. Dee and Ossie Davis also supported Malcolm X, with Davis delivering the eulogy at his funeral in 1965. Their home was a meeting place for activists, artists, and intellectuals, reflecting their belief in the interconnectedness of art and social change. Want to know who visited their home and what they discussed? Don't go anywhere. These are especially the attributes that made them prime targets for the FBI when they were trying to check the pulse of radical civil rights movements in the community. Watch the video on Ossie Davis to hear more about that. Dee's activism extended beyond civil rights. She was also a vocal advocate for gender equality and other social justice issues throughout her life. Dee was actively involved in various organizations such as the Congress of Racial Equality, CORE, the NAACP, and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Dee's activism was recognized with awards such as the Frederick Douglass Award from the New York Urban League in 1970. In 1999, she protested the police shooting of Amadou Diallo, resulting in her arrest at the New York Police Department headquarters. She also participated in initiatives like Not in Our Name, a declaration opposing the U.S. invasion of Iraq. Ruby Dee's career continued to flourish in the decades following the civil rights movement. She took on a wide range of roles in film, television, and theater. Some of her notable later works include Do the Right Thing, directed by Spike Lee, where she played the character Mother Sister, and American Gangster, for which she received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. She received the National Medal of Arts in 1995, the Kennedy Center Honors in 2004, and the Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award in 2000, among many others. In addition to her acting, Dee was an accomplished writer and poet. She authored several books, including her autobiography, With Ossie and Ruby, In This Life Together, co-written with Ossie Davis. This book was a wild ride. Stick around to hear more about their unconventional celebrity marriage. She was a trailblazer who broke down barriers for African-American actresses, challenging Hollywood's limited and often stereotypical portrayals of Black women. Her performances brought depth and dignity to her characters, providing audiences with a more nuanced and authentic representation of African-American life. Ruby passed away on June 11, 2014, in her New Rochelle, New York home. She passed away during her sleep from natural causes as she was 91 years old, surrounded by her children and loved ones. Ruby's influence can be seen in the work of countless artists and activists who have followed in her footsteps. Her commitment to using art as a vehicle for social change has inspired generations of actors, writers, and advocates. Figures such as Viola Davis, Kerry Washington, and Ava DuVernay have cited Dee as a role model and trailblazer who paved the way for their own careers. Dee's legacy is also evident in the continued relevance of the issues she stood for. The fight for civil rights, racial equality, and social justice remains ongoing, and Dee's life and work serve as a powerful reminder of the progress that has been made and the challenges that still need to be addressed. Born into an era of segregation and discrimination, she rose to become one of the most respected and influential figures in American entertainment and activism. Her work in film, television, and theater broke new ground for African-American actresses, while her activism played a crucial role in the civil rights movement and beyond. By the age of 81 and after a 7-decade career in entertainment, Ruby Dee amassed a net worth of $2.5 million. The New Rochelle house that Ossie Davis and Ruby Dee called home since the mid-1960s went on the market for $1,499,000. Want to see where these iconic couple lived? Let's take a look, shall we? Davis passed away in early 2005, and Dee lived in the Mediterranean-style home at 44 Cortlandt Ave, all alone until her death. The 1910 estate, set on 1.29 manicured acres, features 5 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, and 2 half baths. Highlights of the property include a spacious living room, a grand deck off the master bedroom, a library, multiple patios, central air conditioning, and numerous architectural details in wood and stone. The exterior of the house is characterized by its Mediterranean-style architecture, with a stucco facade, red-tiled roof, and elegant arched entryway. Inside, the large living room is filled with natural light from numerous windows and features a grand piano and a distinctive stone fireplace. The dining room, with its warm wooden floors and rustic doors, offers a cozy yet sophisticated space for gatherings. Ruby Dee met Ossie when she still had a pretty minor position at the Negro Theater. The theater was looking for a person to play the lead in Jeb, and Ossie happened to be cast in the role. They met during rehearsals for that play. When she first met Ossie Davis, she thought he looked very hungry because he was very skinny and wore clothes that didn't really fit him. But she thought he had a nice smile. They later got married in 1948, but it wasn't your traditional run-of-the-mill kind of marriage. What made their marriage so unconventional? You'll be amazed. Together they became one of Hollywood's most beloved and respected couples, known for their work both on and off the screen. Ruby and Ossie believed that marriages didn't last because of dishonesty, and that this could be fixed if they radically allowed one another to be honest about what they wanted. They decided to have an open marriage so that they didn't have to feel guilty about having partners outside of their marriage because they would choose to be honest about it with one another. In their joint autobiography, With Ossie and Ruby, In This Life Together, the couple discussed their logic behind embracing an open marriage, emphasizing the importance of honesty and transparency in preserving the integrity of their bond. Even though it was against societal norms, especially for African American people, they felt that extramarital relationships were not inherently destructive to marriages. Rather, it was the deceit and secrecy surrounding such affairs that posed the real threat to the love they had for each other. Ruby and Ossie acknowledged that ultimately they were fortunate to realize that their deepest desires and affections were reserved for each other. Their experiment in openness served futile when they realized they only ever wanted each other, and they no longer had a reason to consider their marriage open. Their public celebrity open marriage inspired many other celebrity couples who were under the same public scrutiny as them. Click on this next video and explore the inner lives that these Black Hollywood stars try to hide from the screen. Do you believe in open marriages?